It means a lot to me. This book wasn't really easy. It wasn't even easy. I almost stopped writing the book. But my faith in the God that came and rescued me, I knew I was more than enough. There was more out there for me. But I didn't know how much is out there for me. So as I leave education and move towards the book, is to do what God wants me to do. And as long as I am faithful to Him, I'm going to keep doing what I need to do. I love the music. Do y'all like the music?
Yeah, I love it.
A lot of that music really pulled me to where I am today, writing that book. It was the only thing that kept me from falling apart, almost losing my heart, and lost my mom. And as I watched Israel trying to give up because of cancer. And you know, cancer is like, some people survive and some people don't. It's a choice. But God gives you that choice. And if you have, it's remarkable that God made women, because women are very strong. They're strong, they think, they plan, they prepare. But thank God for women, because a woman is really the backbone to a man. And with me singing to God, and seeing Israel try to give up, so I had to be that. I had to step in and know that God has a plan for all of us. I knew that if I give up, then God's not going to do His miracles. And God is He's a perfection for miracles. As you read my book in the beginning about me being paralyzed, well, I was paralyzed. I was paralyzed because I was writing this book. It tried to kill me. It attacked my body. Not only did it attack my body, it left. If you read Job, he had like blisters on him. I have the same blisters in my hand. I have a couple more on my forehead. When I went to sleep, it's only the act of God that when I came downstairs, I didn't want to leave Mark alone. I needed the pain. I'll never forget the pain. The pain was horrible. And as I saw Israel sleeping, I didn't want to wake him up to take me. But how was I able to get from my room downstairs, drive to the hospital, the military base, and when I got to the military base, and that's when my body shut down. It just shut down. I wasn't able to move just my eyes and my head. Everything was numb. It felt like the doctor asked me, what do you feel? I felt like somebody pulling my arms, feet off me. They were just pulling my arms. Like I was like that puppet in strings. And pulling and keep hurting. And they didn't give me nothing for that pain. Can you imagine Jesus, when He was crucified and nailed to that cross? The pain. If you don't have these muscles that God designed for your body, can you imagine your body? If you don't have every organ in your body, you see how are you going to function? But when that arm and the feet talk about things, God's going to create us a better body. This is just a sample of our body. But we get in a better body. But when you work for God, it's hard. I was telling them, okay, what's the plan, Lord? What's the plan? And thank God that my plan was one place, that God took care of that, and now I'm on a new journey. Testing Him, always test Him, you better show Him, you can fix this, and He does fix it. It's a crazy day that my business is selling. When evil wants me to keep me there and make me miserable. And this is it, big evil. I read in the book, and it's all faith. Not really so much faith. It's a true story. It's a true story about a mother who's going to do whatever it takes plant. And thank you for coming. It's just the beginning. I'm so honored for this opportunity. Working with God is not easy, people. I was just recently telling one of Jocelyn, my good friend from Texas Varsity Soccer, I'm an educator, but I try to be. I'm a child too. I'm like the children. I want to be a kid too. But we're talking about a lot of stuff. It went away. But we were talking about, oh yeah, how the property. You know him, I was never even wanted to sell the property. You know, I didn't. And last March, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? And my agent, Marie, the book, the publisher, it's been 5 years, and he's still not giving me the book. So I let it go. Let me finish it to May, and then I'll move forward. Well, my children a year before wanted to come to the daycare, and I was excited. I wanted to see the children again. They were my babies. Now he's 7. Caleb and his brother, and I opened it. And that's when I did that. Like the devil is sneaky. The staff that I had quit on me because we took 3 months off, and then I had to get college students. And what happens when you get college students? I go back to school. So I'm left with the building and no stuff. And a lot of kids want to stay. But at that moment, a lot of parents already knew that I was already closing. But I stayed open just for the kids, especially Caleb, because he wanted to see me and spend the summer with me. So I allowed that. And I was praying, it's like, Lord, I need to move. And how am I going to do this? People need to understand God is real. I don't know when you think that he's just a name in the book. But he's got an everlasting book. And it's something you're not going to get if you don't believe. He didn't ask you to pray to him. He asked you to believe in him. If you believe, all the other things will come to you. But you have to put your foot in the water. But we waste our time on other stuff. But I did not waste my time without him. If I had a problem, I know he knew it, but I know he could fix it. And he sure did fix this one, because I was crying. I was in tears. Crying after talking to Marie. And I was like, Lord, got a book, and do nothing with the book, and you need to launch, you need some movie. Really, you don't start launching at the end of the book when it comes out. You do it before. Okay. I listen, but I'm still a mother, I'm still an educator, so I have kids to still. And I said, well, you have to fix it, And what's so crazy is, my realtor could not sell the property at all. I didn't even know. I was like, how can I sell property? You're real estate. Well, we tried it, he wants it. I'm like, I don't want it. Because you know what? They don't want something that belongs to God. Come on now. Thank you, Lord. What they want it for less. But you should pay the highest price. Come on now. So if that house is built on the cornerstone, God's going to have to approve it. He's going to give the right person to that house. So I'm praying, I'm crying, I'm talking to my friend. I think, was it tucking here, right? I was breaking down, right? I was really emotional. I didn't know what to do. But sometimes I was running to my own thoughts, so no, remember, I have to keep remembering. And this book is nothing but remembering. When I go back and read this book, I remember every single moment, even the feeling I had to go through for this book. Every word in there had a purpose. And I didn't see, all I saw just words. But there was something deeper about the book. So I was so emotional talking to Marie, and then I'm talking to Miss Marissa, and finally, some girl that used to work for me in like 2003, I think it was, she calls me and she goes, hey, I heard you sold the ticket. I said, oh yeah, I gave her the number to the realtor and gave her everything she needed to do. Well, she couldn't get the daycare. But I was still stuck. You could come, we'll make a deal, and I'll help you and get you in there. And, God, they always give to the needy.
Come on now.
So I said, I'm not losing nothing because I still have God. This building could stay where it's at. We'll have somebody. But I will have God in the building. And that's what I wanted. And you knew I was fighting for it. So anyway, so I cried and everything. And she came. I said, we'll make a deal. $15,000 for all the equipment. And the realtor's going to do it. So you're going to have no choice because I'm the owner. So when the time came, my staff for the summer left to school, so just me and her daughter-in-law. And she's going to take the business, so okay, so I work, just help somebody get what they need to get through. And I was excited. I was on my way to do this book launch, and so excited. And time came, said, okay, we need some money. We need to go ahead and put the money in the account so it could roll over for a couple of months until you get your license. Well, something happened after that. Here we go, another downfall. But it wasn't my downfall. It wasn't my downfall. It was just supposed to happen. I learned one thing about downfalls. Therefore, they're there to make you stronger, not weaker. They're there to make you stronger. So anyway, this is crazy. So I go to the bank, I transfer money over, and she knew exactly what I needed, and left her alone with her daughter-in-law to figure something out. And as I came back, she came and sat on the bed. She goes, I got some good news. She goes, I called my son, and he asked his boss for some money, and he's willing to give us the $10,000 we need. Just like that. But he needs to come see what he's going to put the money into. So I said, sure. Great. He wasn't come Friday. He couldn't come. Something happened. Then he came Saturday. Met the man. Very nice, humble man. Very nice, humble. And it turns out that man wanted a daycare. He never knew how to get a daycare. But God knew where the man needs to be for that place. At that time. And so, guess what? He owns the property. It's no longer in my hands no more. It's in his hands, and I wish it well. But the point that I'm making, I couldn't go through all this without my father. I just couldn't. And I couldn't be as strong as him if he couldn't prove to me and who he was. And that relationship, when he brought me back on my feet, and it was just, look, you all know the county joke. You know that Satan went in there? It was, people were not Satan, you're right, there was a lot of messengers, wasn't there? They kept knocking, and there was another blow to him, another blow. I think there were 5 blows until he finally lost everything. His children, his house, his fortune, his health, he lost everything. Because God said, okay, you go and talk to my faithful one. Because he thought that he was going to turn around and say, it's my fault. And he knew it wasn't his fault. And he didn't want to blame it on God. And I did too. With all this happening, I did not blame God. I stayed committed to God. I stayed committed to him. And I knew there was a purpose. And so this is what it is, This is what it is. We can have everlasting life, know the true living God, have him bring you back on your feet. Just like I told you in that room, I was paralyzed. And those 2 men, whoever were in my room, this is crazy. Because when I went in there, the first bed has not been fixed. It was wiped down. I heard noise, I woke up, I saw a housekeeper preparing that bed. I went back to sleep. I remember she got the tray, she pushed them all the way back. And all I could do is just move my head, and I went back to sleep. And then a couple more hours, I hear noise. People talking. So I turn in the corner. Here are 2 men talking. to know who they were. But I heard them. They were talking real, I can't understand. And then I couldn't move. I was paralyzed. I couldn't move. And then I was so frightened, it's like, I was like, and it's real. So I just closed my eyes and went back to sleep. So, maybe an hour. I know at 3:23, it was a big kick, and I jumped. I didn't even, you know what's so funny when I wrote my book? I said, oh my God, my legs were working. I didn't even know, I was so frightened, I didn't even know my legs were working. But that kid and the ticking around the sound of my bed, they came in, the nurses, they tried to turn it off, trying to make that ticking sounds to stop. It wouldn't even stop. They unplugged the bed, they put the plug back in. It did not. You know why? Because God's presence was there. He put me back on my feet, and he turned me around, finished the assignment. Well, I don't know what assignment. I'm going to be honest, God is my witness. But God has another plan. And my plan is I didn't write his plan. He wrote his own plan. So I'll write the book. That's the only agreement we have right now. So I know some of you're writing a second book. No, I'm not writing a second book. That book is good enough. If they don't have faith in what God sees, and then when you find out what God does, then that's their problem. Because God gives everybody an opportunity to know him. There's no change on us if we go to church. No change on us. It's because we're not doing what he's saying. We're not accepting what he expected. And then we go, well, why did God do that? You know what? God didn't do anything. Because he watches you and you see what you're doing. So as long as he's guiding me, he's bringing me, thank the Lord, that I'm able to go to my house now and know that I don't carry the world with me. I carry him with me. And as long as I have a lot of, oh my God, I have a lot of stories. My burned tree, you burned my tree. The wind tunnel that came out of nowhere and put that lady in the eye. Something about, let me tell you, let's just be honest, people. When you say you go to church, and you go and talk to God's favorite, God don't like favorite. He said, nobody's my favorite. We're all in one. Let's say that. But when you go to church, and you confess something, you better be careful about your heart. Because God knows exactly, he knows you. He knows you. And that poor lady, the went on real case, came at us, and she screamed, and she picked up her eyelid, yelling at me, what's in my eye? I'm like, look, it was so crazy. She had a Bible. I still got that Bible. I took the Bible. How much? She goes, take it, here. And I some lady right across the street, picking up, because this was a flea market. This how God shows up. He comes to the flea market. And the lady running across the street, she's helping her picking up the stuff, and I feel like, oh, I need to hurry. It's 3 o'clock and I need to be at church. And it's crazy. But my faith was not, I had a relationship before I could know what faith is. So I just pray. Pray for help. And thank you for coming. It's not over. God's going to finish it. I just have to put my book, write it, and it's done. I'm done, Father. And whatever you do, it's all in your hands. I have nothing to do with me. Oh, thank you for coming out. I know the weather's bad out there. Drive home safely. And, that thunder was really bad. Wasn't it loud? And, we're all one in God. Jesus paid the ultimate price. So this Christmas, we're talking about Christmas. Make sure the giving is to each other, not just under this tree. So God bless y'all. May the Lord keep you. Bye.